Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whenever you're watching this. Most of you actually know that self-help industry just threw me for a loop. And I have gotten this opportunity to really spread my awareness and really my own story on how addictive it was for me and the continued cycle that it was so suffering. It was absolutely suffering. I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. I'm not trying to burst anyone's bubble, but we all should be aware and conscious to this. There is a sneaky addiction to self-improvement, always trying to better ourselves and always trying to be a better version. And I went through it. I went through it for 4 years. There's huge awakening going on around the world. I mean, it's actually happening right now. It's happening with everybody. And people are going to awaken in different stages. And this is just becoming aware and conscious to ourselves, the lives we're living, and what we've been choosing, and what we've been putting out and getting back. And there has to be balance of giving and receiving, and always has to be equal. That is where the balance comes to play. And now that I know this, I can really spread this to anybody that is going through the same thing. Because at first it was great, and I shifted instantly, and I got on a whole different frequency, and I really tried to work on myself all the time and be a better version, and just be aware of my choices, which we all should be doing. I visualized nonstop a better body, a better life, just so many different things that I never did before, because I wasn't really conscious to that I am choosing my own life. And I was reading all the books. So many books. I'm not going to mention any names because I don't want to put anyone under the bus. I'm so grateful for the self-help industry, but I do want to make it known to anyone that is going through the same thing. There is a darker side to self-help. There really, really is in that industry. And we need to be careful and conscious to always trying to be better and always trying to improving, because it is very addicting. And because we do have to create our own balance, trying to be high up all the time can be very suffering, because you're going to have the opposite of that all the time. When you're trying to be so high up, you're always trying to have the highs and feel really good all the time, and that full-blown battery, but you're always trying to be high, but you're not truly aware and conscious to the opposite side of that. And when you're trying to be high up all the time, you're always going to have the pendulum swing, and it's going to go back, and you're going to come down even harder. So there is suffering that comes with it. Trying to be high all the time, then you're going to also have the opposite, which is super, super low. So trying to be high up in frequency all the time and not aware of the lower frequency, it can actually take you down to a very deep, dark place. But here's something that I learned and became aware of from it. When I got into all of the personal development, self-help, and all of this awareness, and it was like so instant. I got struck by lightning. I wanted to be a better version. I wanted to heal myself, and I was just so obsessive, and it was crazy. I wanted to learn about energy and frequency and vibration. I wanted to be able to have connect the mind, the body. I wanted all of it. I went full throttle. But I did go down, and I did get into a place of suffering more than I have ever been in my life. because I know depression, I know anxiety. I've had it since I was a little girl. I experienced it over and over. I recycled it, as we all do. We're, in survival mode. But what happened was I was so high up all the time that I just crashed. And I didn't understand what was going on. I was working so hard on myself, and it was very confusing. It was very, very confusing. So, long story short, here is something that can help guide you in your own self-help journey. We are in this moment enough as we are. The version we are right now is something we need to allow ourselves to embrace and not always try to be a better version of ourselves. Because this version you are right now, you'll never be again. You'll never be again. So you want to get to know that version. You want to connect to that version, get in tune with that version, learn from that version, because that's why we are playing these versions and these characters. And step into your own life, okay? If you don't have those resources now, then you don't need them. Everything you have right now is what you need. The resources you have, it's all you need in this moment. It's all you need. Don't try to continue to go looking for more, because when you step outside of this moment and you always place your attention outside, you're creating that absent feeling. Something's missing from me. There's a piece missing from me. I'm not complete. And then we come from a place of void and brokenness, and something is missing from my life. So look around you at what you have. Look around you, what books you already have on your shelf, what books haven't you already read, and try not to go out looking for and searching and seeking for more and more and more, because that can become an addictive loop, and you just keep going. It's like a hamster on a wheel. You kind of feel like you already were, but this is a whole different side. Like we were on a low frequency, now we get on a really high frequency, but you have to understand the pendulum swing. It's always going to swing back and forth. What you can do is you can become aware of the pendulum swing and not be the pendulum swing. That way you're not on this roller coaster ride and feeling it all the time, and just be aware of the highs and the lows and embrace them and observe them, and pay attention. Don't focus in on them. Zoom out. That way you can be aware of the pendulum swing and the highs and lows, because it's all about giving and receiving at the same time, because that is where the balance comes from. And many people are not aware that that is our balance. Balance is giving and receiving. And you want to be, you want to have equal. You want to be as equally ascended as equally grounded, which is mean centered. So hopefully this helps any of you that gets the opportunity to watch this video. And just remember that I'm not trying to put anybody under the bus or burst anybody's bubble, because I am only spreading this awareness from what I now know in this moment, from my own experience and from my view of life. And now knowing the dark side of self-help, that industry, and more being aware of that what I have right now is enough, and I don't place my attention or focus outside of the moment all the time. I mean, yeah, I'm human. I go back and forth all the time, but I zoom out. That way there's no attachment, because when you're zoomed in, you feel like you're attached to something, and something's pulling you in, and you always feel like you need more. And there's always the emotional attachment. But when you zoom out and you just observe things and just see them for what they are without trying to change them all the time, we always want something to be different so we feel better, but we never really look at things as they are right now. So yeah, hopefully that can help you in some way. And like I said, I am not trying to put anybody under the bus with self-help industry or personal development, but it can be very addictive, and addicting to the point where you don't even realize you're back in your own loop and you're on the hamster wheel again, and it's whatever's trying to keep you right there always high all the time, just know that there's always an opposite. And if you're experiencing the highs, you're always going to have to experience the lows, because the pendulum will always swing